Welcome back to our Lupus Things series where we talk about all things lupus. Today we're going to talk about how the sun affects people with lupus and why we should avoid it. Why can't I go in the sun like my friends? Most people with lupus have what's called photosensitivity. That means you are sensitive to ultraviolet rays from the sunlight, which is also known as UV rays, and also some types of indoor lighting, like fluorescent lights, those long tubes usually in the kitchen, as well as halogen bulbs. This is also why we always advise to avoid the UV and LED lamps nail technicians use. It's important to know how UV rays can affect you, and also what steps you can take to protect yourself. Right, what is photosensitivity? We can now conclude that photosensitivity causes people to be sensitive to a range of lights. Although anyone can have skin damage from UV rays, people with photosensitivity have stronger reactions. Up to 7 in 10 people with lupus find that UV rays from sunlight or indoor lighting make their lupus symptoms worse. Almost all of the time you spend in the sun, it will cause a flare. It's horrible to flare, and we all know that a flare can cause damage too. So, rather be safe than sorry. How can photosensitivity affect my lupus symptoms? If you have photosensitivity from lupus, it can cause new skin rashes and sores, in other words, lesions, or make existing skin problems worse. Too much contact with UV rays can also trigger other lupus symptoms like joint pain, fatigue, fever, flu-like symptoms, skin tingling or numbness, distant organ inflammation like lupus nephritis. Why do people with lupus have photosensitivity? UV rays can damage cells in anyone's bodies. Normally, the immune system clears out these damaged cells. But if you have lupus, your immune system doesn't clear out the damaged cells, and it attacks healthy cells instead. These attacks can lead to photosensitive lupus rashes and increased inflammation throughout the body. How can I protect myself from UV rays? Here are some ways to protect yourself from UV rays, both outdoors and indoors. Number 1. Use sunscreen. Apply sunscreen every day, even if you don't go outside. Try these tips. Choose broad spectrum sunscreen that is at least 50 plus SPF and blocks UVA and UVB rays. If you do not tolerate an SPF of 50, use the highest number SPF you can tolerate. Apply sunscreen first thing in the morning, at least 30 minutes before heading outdoors. Put on more sunscreen every 2 hours when outdoors and every 4 to 6 hours when you're indoors. If you're swimming or sweating, put on more sunscreen often and ensure it is water resistant. Remember to put sunscreen on all exposed skin areas like the neck, forehead, ears, upper chest, arms, and hands. Most people do not use enough sunscreen. A rule of thumb is to use at least a shot glass amount of sunscreen. Always make sure your sunscreen is non-irritating and perfume-free. Number 2, cover up. Cover as much of your skin as possible with clothing that protects you from UV rays. Be sure to choose tightly woven clothing and keep in mind that dark or bright colors usually offer better protection than light colors. Wear sunglasses with large wraparound frames that block 100% of both UVA and UVB rays. Wear wide-brimmed hats or hats with neck protection. Number 3, protect yourself outdoors. Avoid direct sunlight from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sitting on the beach under an umbrella or in the shade on a boat deck are not as safe as they sound. UV light is reflected off of water, sand, snow, and concrete. Wear sunscreen even in winter and during cloudy weather. Damaging UV light from the sun still occurs. It is just not as strong as on a sunny summer day. Number 4, protect yourself indoors. You can also take steps to block UV rays when you're indoors and on the road. Try these tips. Cover windows with UV blocking shades at home and in your car. Drive with the windows up, not down, as they have some UV protection. Cover halogen and fluorescent light bulbs with light shields or UV filters. Use fewer lights and turn them off when you can. Do not allow UV drying lamps when getting your nails done. Number 5, check your medicines. Some medicines can make photosensitivity worse. Talk with your doctor or pharmacist if you're taking antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, blood pressure medicine, tricyclic antidepressants, medicines used to treat lupus. Some lupus medicine can help protect you from UV rays, like hydroxychloroquine. Talk with your doctor to see what options might work for you. So in conclusion to this video, the sun can be very dangerous for those who have lupus, causing photosensitivity. Photosensitivity may induce lupus rashes or even trigger a lupus flare-up. Ensure comprehensive protection against the effects of the sun, both indoors and outdoors, including in cars. Alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this month's episode of Lupus Things. We'll see you next time.